So if you haven't set in the menu row anchors yet over on the top here, you want to go back into the description and make sure you go to the timestamps and create your menu. So when we click on the menu, you'll see that the URL has changed to #about. Same thing if you go in gallery, it's #gallery, and it's all lowercase, right? So what we need to do is set in the location of where we want people to scroll to. So we can click on turn on builder, and we can hover over the row. So this is the row, the about me row. So we want to hover over here, click on here, and then click on row options. For the row anchor, we're going to label this as about. So that is the location. So as you can see on the right hand side here, it's #about. So that's the location for about. The next section, so hover over here, row options, and this one is going to be services. So make sure it's all the same as the link that you set in before. So without the hashtag in front, scroll down, the gallery section, row options, and this one's going to be gallery. Scroll down again, and this one is going to be the blog. So row options, blog, and the last one is going to be the contact section. So hover over here, row options, and then row anchor, contact. So that's pretty much all you need to do. So we can click on save and make sure you test it to see if it actually works. So click into about, gallery, services, the contacts, yep, all good. So if you do have any problems, it's mainly because you haven't set in the link correctly. For example, you didn't put in the lowercase, or you've just messed up the labels. So make sure to check that. So what I want to show you guys now is to ensure that your website is fully mobile responsive on mobiles as well as tablets. So if you resize your screen and we scroll down, you can see that it resizes pretty nicely as well. And over here, it doesn't look very good, right? We've got the image over here, it's like nice and small, it's squashed with the text. But generally the theme does do a good job in making it responsive, but sometimes we do need to edit it. So I do want to show you guys exactly how to do that. So let's go and turn on the builder, and there are a few ways of doing it. So I want to show you all the ways of doing it. So over here, we can select mobile, and what this is going to do, it's basically going to save the settings for mobile settings only. So if we hover over here, you can see this is what it looks like on mobile. So what we want to do is, instead of having 2 columns, we sort of want to just have 1. So hover over here and select 1 like that. Okay, so what you can also do is maybe add some padding as well. Maybe I do want to have the text on top, so you can hover over here again, and then you can change right to left, and that's basically going to adjust it a little bit so that you have the text on top and then you got the image. So you can also always adjust that like that, and then let's say if you do want to keep it like that, that's fine. We can click into the text over here, styling, and then click on padding, and then we can set in some padding on the top. So maybe let's try 25. So that's going to save just for mobile devices only. So if you go back to desktop, then it's going to sort of readjust to what we have before. So let's go back over here, that's going to change. So you need to readjust everything on your page that needs adjusting like that. And you can also click into, let's say, this video module section or this entire row. So maybe on mobile you don't want the video for some reason, or you just want to hide something. Then let's go over here, and then we can click on the sort of 3 dots over here and click on visibility. So essentially what that is, it is if you want to hide certain things, certain rows or certain modules, we can hide it for the mobile or tablet or anything like that. So now that we've hidden it, then on mobile people won't be able to see the video, this entire row. So as you can see, it's hidden, and you can definitely play around with the settings over here. You can also navigate here by clicking on the eye icon over here as well. Okay, so click on that, and that should be done. Now the other way of doing it is also from your customizer section. So save the settings, and maybe I do want to maybe make this one, the padding, just reduce it a tad for mobile. So maybe let's do 150. So let's pull it down here, 150, and same for the bottom, maybe make it 150 as well. Okay, perfect, done. Save and close. So before we move on, I do want to give you guys a quick tip. So for example, on the parallax scrolling for desktop, what I generally recommend for the hero image, like the first image on your website, is maybe instead of parallax scrolling, set it to full cover, and then you can set the background to the fixed sort of background attachment. So it's a little bit more responsive on mobile when you set that in, and that's what I personally recommend. Now, if it's like the sort of like the middle images, like for example, the sort of the turtle image before, so let's just close it, and it still creates the parallax effect. And if we scroll down over here, the turtle over here, so that is still okay on mobile, but sometimes you may need it to be a little bit more responsive for mobile, so that's why I recommend the sort of fixed scrolling one. Click on customize on the top. So over here, we can also click on the styling here as well. So for mobile, we can click on that, and we can adjust the sort of the size of, let's say, maybe the body text or maybe the heading text specific for mobile as well. So let's say, for example, we can go to body and body font, and by default, the body font, I think it's 16. So we can reduce it to, let's say, 14. Then you can see here, it's changed for mobile. So before it was like 16, but we can adjust it to maybe 15. And that's only going to be specific for mobile. So if you click back onto the desktop, it's going to readjust as well. So sometimes you may need to readjust the body font as well as the headings specific for mobile by clicking on here. So I do want to show you guys how to edit some stuff as well, your customizer section. So for example, when I mentioned when we were creating the hero text over here, you can click on headings and you can edit the heading one sort of headings universally for your entire website as well. So you can do that over here, and that's what I personally recommend, because that way you don't have to always set it, to the specific font all the time. You've got the standard font. So for example, this is the heading 2. We can go to heading 2, and then we can make sure we set it in Montserrat, or maybe you want to change it different font or anything like that. And then we could do, for the font weight, we could be bold, something like that. And then we could do letter spacing, maybe 1, and then that might look okay. Then you can also adjust the color and everything like that. Click on publish, and then we can scroll down. The only other things that I want to show you guys before we create our logo is maybe we can go to the blog. So let's say, for example, click into the blog. So over here, we've got the form. So to edit the styling, you can edit it here, right? This is the sort of the widget sidebar area. You can also edit the sidebar. You can edit any section of your website as well. So for example, when we're scrolling down, the sticky header, you can't see the text. So you can also go to sticky header, and then we could do the sticky header link, change it to maybe 222. So hopefully that is going to display, right? So we can adjust everything that we need, sticky header and everything like that. So what I want to show you now is how to create your logo for free, as well as your fab icon.